Hi, it's Jo from the Isle of Axholme and Hatfield Chase Landscape Partnership. If, like us, you've been having some really good fun in the snow the last couple of weeks, and unfortunately it's more or less all gone, I think we should go inside and learn a little bit about pottery and have a go yourself. So pottery is one of the oldest human inventions. It can be made from clay and other materials. They are formed by hand. You can sometimes still see finger marks left by the maker. Pottery is then fired before it can be used. Many people started to decorate the pots they made using lines or decorations. Over time, people have become better at making pots and adding more decorations such as coloured glaze. And obviously here you can see the smooth kind of glaze, and then they've gone forward in time and have put patterns on and lines, things like that. These can be dated and let us know who lived in this area. Pottery has been found from the Roman period, Saxon period and medieval period, as well as you can see, more modern pieces. So the examples on the screen now are from the Vinegarth dig we did in 2017. If any of you were lucky enough to get there when we did the dig at Epworth, these were some examples of the pottery that were found. So the first one here is a Scarborough ware dated from 1150 to 1350, so it's early medieval. The other two are a little bit later but still medieval, and they were all from jugs found at the site. Some brilliant news though coming up. Potentially later this year we will be holding another dig across the Isle of Axholme somewhere. Just keep an eye out on our Facebook page, Instagram and website to see where and when that is going to be. So what we're going to make today are some simple thumb pots, but obviously it's entirely up to you what kind of pottery you'd like to make. But here I've got some air drying clay, so you don't need to worry about a kiln afterwards to fire it up. I've also been making some out of salt dough. There's lots of recipes online about salt dough, but the way we did it was to use 2 cups of plain flour in one of these, and one of these are full of salt, and a tablespoonful of cooking oil, and I'll come back to that in a little bit. So here on your clay, obviously yeah, it does stain your hands, but it will wash off. So what you need to do is to make it into a ball to start with, and then get your thumb on the inside, push down as far as you can, not too far because obviously you need a good sturdy base. Then you need to get your thumb on the inside and your finger on the outside and start squeezing it together. Like I said, it's entirely up to you how tall you want to make your pot, or you might want to add a handle on the side or make it into a bowl. But I'll just show you the simple design to start with. So the good thing with air drying clay is if you've made a mistake, say like this bit is cracked, it will smooth over. So it's still very pliable until it starts to dry. If you keep moving it round, you'll be able to see which bits have got a little bit more clay on, so you can squeeze it out a little bit more. And like I said in the information before I started, in the earlier pots you would still see the finger marks that people have made their pots. Just flatten the bottom out a little bit. Now I'd say if it was in the middle of summer these do dry out quite quickly, but obviously at this time of year you've got a little bit longer, so you could play around with it a little bit more. Then when it's ready to dry out, just leave it in your kitchen window, something like that. And the next thing is I've got a selection of clay tools here that you could decorate your pot with, or if you don't have this kind of stuff, you could get a knife and fork, you could get a kebab stick, anything like that that you want to decorate your pot. Again, this is entirely up to you. You might want to write your name in there, or you might just want to make a nice pattern going around. So if you just push the tool into it as you go around. There we go, so I've just done a really simple line going around there. If you wanted to get a little bit more clay and make a handle, you could do, all you need to do is get a little bit more and just smooth it round. Just make sure that all the crack is smoothed around, so then it's not going to fall off when you've let it dry off. And that's a very, very simple design there. So obviously that needs to dry. But what we did at the weekend was use some salt dough instead. Same principle, exactly the same as you'd use for the clay, but this, usually they say you can fire it in the cooker, but this we just left in our kitchen and it's already gone quite hard. So no need to use all that electric up for cooking it. So same principle, just exactly the same way to model it, and you can do different patterns along the outside. Good thing about both of these is once they're completely dry, you can use poster paint and you can colour it all in, or you could add a glaze to it if you want to, if you've got anything like that, and just make it really pretty. These are really useful to have on your windowsill, so you could either put rings in it while you're washing up, or just go and put it in your bedroom, decorate your room up with it. There we go.